Welcome. In this short presentation, I will briefly explain what history option is about. Mainly, history option is divided into two parts. The Maltese history, which covers 50% of the syllabus, and European history, which covers as well 50% of the syllabus. Roughly, the period we will be discussing for both Maltese and European history is between 1500s and 2000s. The students will also have to work three courseworks spreading over 3 years, year 9, year 10, year 11, and these courseworks carry 30% of the global mark. In year 11, when students will sit for the SAC exam, they will be having a written exam paper as well, which carries 70 marks, and these 70 marks will add up the 30 marks from the three courseworks. These are examples of Maltese history topics. We will be covering Great Siege of Malta, the building of Valletta, the Roman Inquisition. It was a religious tribunal which tortured people who went against religion. And as well, we are going to discuss about fortifications that were built by the knights in Malta and Gozo. We will also discuss the British era in Malta, and we will have an important amount of time discussing Malta's role in both two world wars. So, Malta's role in World War I and Malta's role in World War II. We will also be covering social history, everyday life of Maltese people during these 500 years, the fashion, how they used to dress, education, diseases, social history. We'll also be discussing economic history. We'll cover the similar trends, economic trends throughout all these ages. Okay, we'll find some similarities and some differences. Then we'll discuss important Maltese politicians from both political sides, and we'll also discuss Malta's application to join the EU and eventually Malta joining the EU in 2004. We'll discuss both advantages and disadvantages. When it comes to European history, the first topic that we will cover is Renaissance history. Okay, we will discuss important inventions, important designs, important artists such as Leonardo da Vinci, and important works of art. This period, Renaissance period, changed the world. Europe entered in its modern era. Then we will also discuss the discovery of new continents, mainly the Americas, okay, which triggered off slave trade and slavery, the African one. We'll then discuss the rise of dictators. We'll be doing as well World War I, causes of World War I, very briefly what happened in World War I, and the effects of World War I. And one of the effects of World War I is the rise of dictators such as Hitler and Mussolini, who had ideologies which were new in Europe. These ideologies were Nazism and fascism. So we're going to discuss what factors led to the rise of these dictators, what did they do in their countries and beyond their countries. Mainly, we are going to discuss as well the Holocaust, okay, the killing of roughly 6 million Jews, and World War II, causes of World War II, what happened in World War II, and the results of World War II. Then we are going to discuss as well the world after World War II, a world which was divided into two spheres of influence, the one of the US, the western part, and the Soviet Union, nowadays Russia. They competed for world influence and world dominance. Some may argue that this competition is still happening nowadays. In the slide, one can see different examples of practicals. These practicals carry marks that are to be added up in year 11 with the written exam mark. Okay, and history, like other subjects, is also a practical subject. Students, for example, have to do a presentation. Also, in year 10, we will visit the National Archives. In the National Archives, students will work on primary sources and they will have to answer questions, okay, from these primary sources. In so doing, students are trained in skills, in research and analytical skills which students can use in any career, okay, such as, for example, legal studies, okay, notaries. Notaries do research. Their job is an ongoing research, okay? So history option students will train in these skills. We also have treasure hunts. We have a lot of activities. And in these activities, students will be assessed and those marks, okay, will add up the final exam mark from the written exam paper. These are history-related careers, okay? History option can lead to a number of careers, both direct and indirect. Okay, you can become a history teacher, you can become an archaeologist, you can become a tourist guide, you can work in European institutions and in Maltese embassies overseas. Okay, those are all direct careers related to history. There are also indirect careers related to history, such as restoration, the restoration of wood, the restoration of clothing, the restoration of paper, the restoration of stone, okay? Legal studies, notaries and lawyers. Politics, in history option we study politics. If you are going to be a good politician, you must know history, because we learn from our past mistakes. And also history-related apps, okay, games or treasure hunts, okay. History can be chosen with any subject, okay. History leads to a number of careers, both direct and indirect. In fact, there's a list of careers for history option students. I'll give you some seconds to read through these careers. And as I explained in the previous slide, history option ticks all the boxes for the skills needed for employment. We call these skills the 21st century skills. Okay, when studying history, you will be trained in critical thinking. You will also be trained in empathy as skill needed. Okay, so that is a list from 1 to 10 of those skills needed for employment. Apart from studying history at secondary level, one can also study history at intermediate level and advanced level, as well at MCAST. Lately, MCAST has established an advanced diploma in cultural heritage skills for those that aim to become archivists, museum curators, librarians, people that restore and conserve historical artifacts or historical documents. Also, when studying history, one can then enroll at university in various courses such as archaeology, history, history of art, diplomacy, international relations, criminology, and these are all courses that one can pursue when studying history. So thanks to history, one can pursue different careers. Even history, as I explained in previous slides, can also help giving skills when one is studying to become a lawyer and a notary. All in all, okay, history is part of the humanities subjects, history, geography, social studies, European studies, okay. These humanities subjects are important, okay. They teach us to think critically, okay. They also help us in building writing skills, okay. And also humanities will help democracy to flourish in our societies.